Here's Alex. Okay.
Okay.
Let's get going.
Let's
Okay.
get going.
Thank you,
Okay.
everybody, for showing
Thank you,
up.
everybody, for showing up.
I'm sure there's going to be
I'm
some
sure there's
people.
going to be some people.
Greg, I want to meet you,
Greg,
buddy.
I'm going to meet you, buddy.
I'm sure there's going to be some people that show up late. There we go. Is that better for everybody with the echo? Okay. Um, all right. So, Google Business. If you don't have a Google Business profile, you need to have a Google Business profile. Does anybody not have a Google Business profile? I'm assuming that's
I'm
probably the
assuming that
first
that's
thing
part of
everybody should do when they get their license, right? That's the first thing you should do when you get your license is get a Google Business profile. So before we get started with that, and I understand some people are on their phones or whatever else or driving, but I'm just going to walk through it pretty quickly. Um, First
Am
thing,
I muted?
huh?
Am I muted?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You want me to mute you?
Oh, I figured it out, I think.
So if you have the paid version of ChatGPT, I'm telling you right now, ChatGPT is a wonderful assistant for Google profile, your Google business profile. The first thing I would do for anybody is to go to start a new project on the left-hand side and then just name it Google, whatever. You can call it Google Business, LSA, because we're gonna talk a little bit about local service ads, but I would just put something Google on here and just put create project, okay? That's the first thing we want to do. And then I'm going to send you guys a link to a Google Business Drive that I created. This is going to have all kinds of prompting and everything for you. But the first thing you need to do is drop this prompt. Okay. You're going to start with everything here. Okay. Act as my AI marketing assistant to help me fully optimize my Google business profile as a real estate professional. Your goal is to help me increase visibility, drive reviews, and generate inbound leads using local SEO best practices. You'll help me write descriptions, posts, responses, and keyword strategies specific to my market. And then hit enter. Let chat do its thing. Okay. Don't even worry about it because it's going to probably give you all kinds of stuff. They say, okay. But then the next thing you're going to put on there is before we get started, ask me these questions below and add 5 questions of your own based on your knowledge of who I am and what I do. So hopefully by now your chat has a good understanding of who you are and what your business looks like. Okay. Use my answers to customize a personalized Google business optimization plan for me, include content ideas, SEO keywords, and posting strategies that fit my goals and location. And it's going to ask you these questions, and it's going to come up with 5 questions on your own. Make note, oh, after it's all done, we're just reminding him, remember, use my answers or her, whoever your chat is, or it, right? Whatever. Remember, use my answers to customize a personalized Google business optimization plan for me, blah, blah, blah. It is very important. This is a note, guys, in here. It is very important to always make your chat second guess, be reminded, etc. Make sure, like, hey, before you give me answers, I want you to double check your work, be precise, be my partner, not my fan. Because a lot of times chat will be like, Greg, you're the coolest guy ever. Whatever you say makes sense, right? And that's the way chat does with sometimes. It kind of fluffs us a little bit, right? So we want to make sure that our chat bot or our chat GPT is a partner, a sparring partner, so to speak, that's going to hit you back with truth more often than not, right? But it's always very important to make a chat second guess, make it critical of itself. And it's also very important to take the time to answer the questions that ask you fully and intentionally. The intention is to know everything there is to know about your business so it can optimize a plan for you with your Google business profile. Okay. So, a couple notes about Google business is make sure you've verified your profile. So verification comes in the way of like a postcard. So when you start a Google business profile, Google will send you a postcard with the code on. You put all that on there, blah blah blah. So like just make sure that's taken care of before you get really diving deep into your Google business profile. Make sure you pick the right primary category, and we're going to walk through this. Obviously, we do real estate, right? But there are some secondary categories that are involved with real estate that you can add to it. Fill out everything, okay, to the best of your knowledge. Upload real photos. Don't use AI generated photos. You can put Canva photos in there too for like events and maybe open house stuff like that. But the big thing is Google kind of frowns down on digitally created images. They want real photos on their Google business profiles. Um, every time you respond to a review, make a post, do a Q&A, always reference the city or location and where you work and your name and your business name. Okay. So, like for me, my Google business profile is Chris Durbin, comma, realtor. Okay. So I always say, Jackie and I, we always mention names. Jackie and I, we really appreciate you, Greg, your kind review for your house in Mesa, your house in Hikes Point, your house in Shelbyville, whatever, right? We really enjoyed helping the neighborhood out in Regis Park, and I guess Regis will be Hikes Point, right? Or St. Matthews one. Whatever. So it's been really nice to help you at Indian Hills over in the East End in Louisville. You just want to make sure you reference the city and locations where you're working because those are SEO. SEO, just in case somebody doesn't know, means search engine optimization. Okay. So you want to have as many things about your city, your business, and names as you can because those will pop up in searches. All right. Going back to this, turn on messaging. Obviously, you want to have messaging so people can reach out to you, right? Every client, every friend, your niece, your nephew, your dog, I don't care who it is, ask them for a review and always reply to the review in the same fashion of name, location, okay? And whatever service that you provided them, whether it's community outreach, whether it's you sold their home, whether it's you helped them buy a home, whatever the case is, name, location, and whatever you did in your business in that reply to a review, okay? You guys should be hunting reviews like crazy. I'm guilty of being lazy about it myself. And this class has really helped me remind because like I've been helping others build out their Google business profiles over the last several months, and I've kind of slept on mine, but I'm still optimized for well enough to where I'm okay right now. Post weekly. Honestly, post twice a week. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do this, but I'm just going to go through these top 10 quick hit lists real quick. When you make posts, treat your Google business profile as an extension of your social media. Okay. We all love Facebook. We all love Instagram. We all love TikTok. We all love all the cool things that we're on all the time, right? So, like while you're scrolling through Facebook, when you're sitting on the toilet, wherever you are, right? Make a mental note. Oh, I should go make a post on my Google business profile right now. Okay. Post every Monday and every Friday, every Monday and every Friday. And the reason why that is after a week, your post dies. Okay. So if you're constantly giving it fresh content, you're always going to be doing this. So as your content starts to go down, Wednesday, Thursday, you put another post on Friday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? You follow my logic here. So if you do it every 3 days, every Monday and Friday, you're always going to be kind of in that, you're always going to be relevant, right? You're always going to be living alive in the algorithm.
When
Reply
you say
to review.
post, just like on social media in general?
I'm sorry.
When you say post, are you referring to just like social media in
No, this is
general?
this is your Google business profile.
Okay, post through the Google business.
Yeah,
Okay,
and I'm going to show you how to get there.
gotcha.
And then track your results in your Google business profile insights and adjust monthly. Okay. And that's a little bit up a higher level knowledge. We were going to try to get there today, but I'm going to show you where that is. Okay. Think of your Google business profile as a living thing. You have to continuously feed it content. Going back to photos, it does not matter what photos you upload as long as they're real photos. Okay. Because the theory behind the photos is like say if you get a new listing, might as well put all those pictures of that listing on your Google business profile. Okay. Obviously, you want your logo, you want your headshots, you want all those things. If you're out, if you're, let's just say you're doing demo work, Greg, on a investment property, you might want to, have Gabe take some pictures or back and forth. If you guys take pictures of each other working, like this is what it's like to really dive into real estate, or maybe we're writing contracts or something like that. Just anything that's about your business lifestyle. Those are good things too. Sorry, I have to keep this door open. Um, what it's not going to. We're getting a lot of wind down here. All right, everybody understand that? Who's got questions while I got 2 seconds to sit back down?
Nope. Perfect.
All right.
Actually, I do. I'm sorry.
Okay.
When you're talking about creating the Google business profile. Is that something where me and Greg can do since we consider ourselves a team, or is that something that's best done individually?
Good question. Individually.
Okay.
Because here's what happens. Now, advanced realtors should have their own business profile. Okay. So you should have the blanket one, then you should have the agent two. Okay.
We do. We have, but I've never set up an individual for myself because that,
Might,
I've
you might
always
be
just,
okay. We'll have to look at it. But the problem is when you have a team or a boutique brokerage and you're part of that team or boutique brokerage or a team lead, right? So just to kind of give you a real life, case example is my business name used to be Chris Durbin, the D team at EXP Realty when we were at EXP. Well, that's a lot of stuff for Google to kind of find out where you fit in, right? So if somebody's looking for an agent in the East Valley of Phoenix, the people who are just like Greg Vance or Monica Perkins or Jamie Whistler, they're going to pop up because they're looking at me like, is he an agent or is he a team or is he a broker? Right? It kind of confuses the algorithm. So you want everything to be the same across the board. So your social media should match your Google business profile, or it's hard to do that because like my Instagram handle is different from my Facebook handle is different from my Google business, right? But you need to try to have everything as uniform as possible so you continuously show up in searches and you're also dominate that front page when somebody's looking for either your business or you, right? So somebody goes in, what's the first thing that somebody's going to do who doesn't know you? If you're calling leads, they're going to go Google you, right? So if I'm calling a lead that's never heard of me, they might look me up as, Chris Durbin, AZ Realtor AZ, right? So they'll see my business profile. And here I am. I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the entire front page, I dominate. Just this Chris Durbin, not any other Chris Durbin. So if I just look up Chris Durbin, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images, 7, 8, 9. Every link on that first page is me, not this Chris Durbin who's a doctor in Illinois, or not this Chris Durbin who's a cowboy in Wyoming, or not this Chris Durbin who's a race car driver down in Italy, right? Whatever. So the point is, it's like we've got to optimize very well because we took the D team away from a lot of things and we just started focusing on just my name. Does that make sense to everybody? So Gabe, good question. You should have probably a broker account and you should have an individual account as well. So got a little off track there. So let's just kind of walk through what the business profile looks like, right? Where was it? So when you start your Google business profile, obviously I'm verified here, right? This is how you edit your profile. So I need to change this description. This is old. So you got your business category. You're a real estate agent, real estate agency, real estate consultant. You can add all kinds of other categories, right? Real estate.
If someone doesn't have one at all, can you go through and create one from scratch and just do mine because I don't think I have one.
You want me to do yours?
Yeah, I trust you.
I'm not doing yours right now. So what I would do here is after I have prompted my chat GPT, right, with those prompts that you're going to get today, ask it to make you a description, based on your location. So it's going to, after you answer your questions about where you work and everything else, you're going to ask chat to step 2. Use my answers from the agent knowledge builder. So that's all the questions that you've answered, right? Create a personalized Google business profile optimization roadmap for me. So this is step 2 into this file, to this Drive account. Include a brief summary of my business, specific recommendations, blah, 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 right? And then you can ask them just to kind of follow the bouncing ball. All right, chat, give me a description for my Google business profile based on what you know about me or whatever prompt you want to use right there, right? I've got some promptings on here too. So this will change this. I got to fix mine. So this will fix all this. You want to put your phone number here, whatever phone number that you use will go here. Okay. You can put a different phone number here if you want. This is the chat function. Okay. So when they text you, it's going to go to your whatever number you put here. So if you have an CRM that has a chat bot in there, you don't want to talk to these people, you can have it set up with that number. This number is not outward facing. This number is. Okay. So if they hit the chat button, they're chatting this number. If I'm going too fast, let me know. I'll stop. Whatever website that you want them to visit, put that here. Shit's sake. Obviously, your social profiles, and it gives you a short name. So I'm okay with Chris Durbin AZ because everything that I have across social media is Chris Durbin AZ. And obviously, your service areas. Your business hours, that's totally up to you, but you need to fill them out. I just keep mine open 24 hours. You can add special hours if you want. Black Friday. What? There's this more. This is like, it identifies as all this other stuff. Um, Crowd is just like it's like trans or LGBTQ friendly planning. So, if you're doing attributes, if you're planning things like that, if you have an appointment that's required, you click yes or no. I just leave that blank. And then do you offer online appointments? Yes. Do you offer sign language? Do you speak in these different languages, right? So you want to make sure if you're a Spanish speaker, etc., you want to click yes, because that's very important. So if you got Spanish speaking people on your team or at your broker, whatever else, right? That's where you want to click that because they'll be looking for Spanish speaking agents in St. Matthews, for example. Reviews. So when you do your reviews, you want to reply. So a lot of these, I'm not optimized recently because I'm just going through them quick. But you, again, on reviews, name, location, what specific service you provided to that person. So like Katie, what I should have said was, thank you for your kind words, Katie. It was great to sell your son a home in Gilbert, and it was also great to sell your son's home in Chandler. We make a good team, right? That's where probably how I should have rephrased that. To get more reviews, it's just this link here, and you copy this link and you share it with everybody you know. Okay, you'll get 1-star reviews. It just happens. I've gotten like 2 1-stars. I got a 1-star from some lady I thought was a scam artist, and she was like, he was so rude to me. I'm like, we never even worked together. You can dispute bad reviews, and you just got to stay on it. Okay. Photos, obviously. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I got a bad review from a tenant. From a tenant because I evicted her.
And it's,
Like, really, and it was a nightmare trying to get it off. But I responded to her, but it was just a nightmare.
Even the bad reviews, right? Okay, so photos. Again, I mean, it doesn't matter because the idea behind photos is Google thinks the more photos you have, the more likely somebody is going to stay on their app and look at them, right? So the whole idea between Google and Facebook and Instagram and any other website that's out there, the whole design is they want people to stay on their app or on their site, right? The longer somebody stays on there, the more Google can monetize that. So if you have tons and tons and tons of pictures, Google's like, oh, this guy, he's giving us an opportunity to have people stay on our app. So you get pushed to the top more. Okay. So again, don't overthink what the photos are. Put videos on here. Like this is a real
Are you
kid.
looking for the best home in all of the East Valley for
Well,
under?
you're not gonna hear my sound. So it's super simple. You just click add photos and you just drag and drop or you just upload them. Okay. Now, going back to what Gabe was talking about and asking about earlier. So, posts. Here are your posts. Okay. Monday, Friday, Monday, Friday, Monday, Friday. So, like, this was my most recent post. This was on Sunday, I believe. I don't know why my photos aren't adding up. So, when you add your post here, you can add a photo to it too. I suggest at least once a week add a photo. So twice a week post, once a week add a photo. And I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to set up your first 10 sample templates. Okay. So again, new listing alert, for example. Maybe you have a team listing, a broker listing, somebody else. You can advertise listings. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, as long as you get permission, supposedly from other brokerages, you can advertise theirs too. But technically speaking, if it's on the public, you can advertise it too, right? At least that's the way it is here. That's the way I remember it back in Kentucky. So just listed in Taylorsville. This 3-bedroom, 2-bath home is move-in ready. Curious what your home? Whatever. You do an action, okay? Client testimonials, helping families. Thanks to Greg for trusting us with your Crestwood home or LaGrange home, whatever. So you kind of see the trend here, right? City, VA loans, assumable loans, relocation sales, city, neighborhood, name. So this is like a review highlight. So what you might do is screenshot a review and upload that as a photo and then do a post on that, right? Seasonal post, fall's heating up, fall market's heating up. Fall market's good for us here, but feels like it should be good. It's not right now, but and then community posts too. So local business and event and location. So it's we're here. I'm here. We went to Shively for this little hole in the wall barbecue joint. Stop by there this weekend and tell them Chris Durbin from the D team at Real Broker sent you, right? Little things like that. Because that's now you're getting into a whole other area of search options, right? Gosh dang. Um, so this will get you started. But again, every Monday, every Friday. Questions on posts.
Chris, do you post on Google like you do Instagram or anything like that as often? Well, do you do
Well,
is
if you follow me on Facebook, I tend to overdo it on Facebook probably. I'm a little bit irrational and sometimes combative. But anyway, but no, just Mondays and Fridays. Or just
okay, gotcha.
pick 2 days a week that are about 4 days apart.
Okay,
3 and 4 days apart, right? So
okay,
it doesn't
gotcha.
have to be every day, but just definitely twice a week. So that's what I was saying. So like if you post on a Monday, I'm gonna watch my hand here. So you post on a Monday, guys, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're gone. Okay. That you're no longer relevant. It's a very short-term life cycle, right? So you post on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Saturday, Monday, right? It keeps going in this cycle. So you always have something relevant to stay at the top of the algorithm. Because after about 7 days, 6 or 7 days, that post just I don't say disappears, but they stop pushing the content.
Hey, Chris,
Yes.
if you're just building your business page on Google, should you post more to try to get it going? And then once you, maybe after a month, something like that, then maybe do a couple. Is it okay to post more than twice a month or
Yeah,
a day?
absolutely. You can post as many
Okay.
times as you want. The thing about it is, it's not going to, from what I understand, again, Google's all theory, right? Because they change every single day with algorithms. But in our experience, so there's a company that I work with. It's called Optimize 5. They're based out of California. I pay them $99 a month. And this is not a pitch, guys. It's just this is me just telling you what I did. I pay them $99 a month, and they for the most part do a lot of the stuff for me as far as helping with reviews, blah blah blah. If I get bad reviews, so I'm just basing my knowledge based on what I learned from them too, right? Yes, if you post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, take off Saturday, Sunday, you're going to get a lot of content, but it's not going to trigger the algorithm any more than every other day or every 3 or 4 days. But early on, sure, give it a shot, see what happens. Because again, it's all theory based, right? So I would say if you're just getting started, don't do it all on one day. Spread out a calendar, and you can actually, and again, you guys by now, if you followed me from the beginning, and Monica, you can go back and watch the video. But if you have a project there in place that you can ask it to give you a scheduling or a calendar to schedule your post out. So like, okay, I want you to give me a Monday through Friday posting schedule for my Google business profile for the first 2 weeks or the first month. So give me 20 posts that I can post every Monday through Friday for the next 4 weeks. and it'll kick out whatever post that we know that it's basically the same thing we're looking at here. So this
Are
is
you?
something that you could
I'm
take,
sorry.
and this could be your first two. This could be like your 2 week entry point, right? Make every day, make a post based on something here. And before I forget, how do I? So everybody copy this. Monica, I don't anymore really about, so Monica asked a question in chat about asking for Zillow reviews. That is person specific, right? I don't typically ask for Zillow reviews because you have to go in and create an account and all that fun stuff, right? So it's easier just to go to Google. So I think there's a lot of weight behind Zillow. Absolutely. I got a buddy of mine who's just he kills it. And that's all he does is because he has so many Zillow reviews. So people find him on Zillow. My experience with Zillow is like I have just getting people to do it and go through the rigmarole of logging in and then creating an account. They don't have an account, yada yada. So I have a post close email that I send out that does have a link to my Google. So if you leave me a review anywhere on the planet, please leave it here. If you want to leave another review, here's my Zillow link. I don't force the issue on Zillow like I do with Google. It's because again, think about it, guys. When somebody looks you up, they're not going to Zillow and then looking you up. They're going to Google and looking you up. If they see your Zillow link, they'll click it, right? So the first place they go is 9 times out of 10 is Google to look who you are. Everybody clear on that? So this is what your Google Business Profile is going to look like. Oh, Q&A. So getting started, you need to do a Q&A. So the Q&A, where is it? Do I have it here? Oh, we'll come back to that. So the Q&A, oh, sorry guys, lots of tabs. So where's the question here? Oh yeah, do I need to stage my home? So these are questions that I asked, right? And I answered. And so what you do is your first couple of weeks. So go, what do I'll put a file in this Drive account for your Q&As. So your first 10 Q&As. Q&As are very much like your post. So you want to start off when you start your Google Business Profile, you want to start off your own Q&A section. So again, if you don't know what to ask, go to your Chat GPT project, right? And say, okay, Chat, I need to build out 10 Q&A pieces for my Google Business Profile to get it started. And then for those 10 that you start out with, post 2 a day the first 5 days. Okay. So you don't want to put them all on one day because you're just going to get real high in the algorithm and start sinking real fast again. Does that make sense? So if you spread it out over 5 days, you put 2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 2, so on and so forth. That will help trigger the algorithm and make you more optimized than just doing it all at once. And then set up a schedule just like you do with the post. Okay. Just like you do with the post, except your Q&A you can do once a week. It's not it's weighted, but it's not weighted as much as post. But again, you're putting content on your page, and Google loves content on your page because again, that keeps people engaged with their what is this? Okay. That keeps people on Google's app. All right. Questions so far, please. I know I'm going fast. So I want to honor your time.
Okay, so when you're,
Go ahead, man. Sorry.
I'm sorry. So when you're talking about question and answer, do that one time a week and then a post twice a week. Is one of those supposed to be one of the questions and answers?
No,
Make sense? It's
There's-
separate. So now we're looking at three things. a
They're
week.
separate. 3 things a week.
Okay, perfect.
Well, and if you have photos, it could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things a week, right? But the thing about photos is just treat it like a social media account. If you're uploading pictures to your Instagram and Facebook that are not digitally created, they're real photos, even lifestyle photos. Like if you're running out in the yard with a dog or whatever else, like just something that people can look at, right? That's a real photo. The obvious things are your headshot, your logo. If you have your own personalized logo, those need to be on there. Take a picture of your office, right? Take a picture of the outside of the building that your office is in, right? So you guys are going to the track today, right? I'm sure you're going to have a ton of pictures. Put them on there. Put them on your Google Business profile because the public, again, lifestyle photos are great because they see who you really are. It's no different than social media. Now, I'm not saying every single social media post that you do. Oh, what's this reaction stuff? I'm not saying every single social media piece that you do should go on Google as well, but if you're just mindful enough to say, hey, this might be something interesting for my Google business profile too, and just go on there and upload it. You can do it from your phone. You have to go to business. But so go ahead, Greg.
Do you do any kind of like Google ads?
Good question. Yes and no. So that's what I'm going to be wrapping up the meeting with. Let's talk about all the different ways that you can run ads. So if you can give me a couple minutes to get there, I'll get there.
And then I'll interrupt you as well since we're all going to do that. Does it matter for the posts on there what time of day? I know you want to regularly do it, but like on social media, your engagement's a little different if you post at 11 at night. So is it the same for that, or can it just be at any point in the day?
It's a good question. Anytime's fine because you got to think people aren't going to Google for social reasons. They're going to Google for search reasons, right? Now, Facebook and Meta, or excuse me, we'll just say Meta because Instagram and Facebook are both Meta. Meta's way differently because people are on the app at those hours, and they're for entertainment, if you will, right? So that's why it's always better to post on social media during those hours when everybody's on because they're on at those times. Google is kind of an evergreen living thing, right? People go to Google whenever they want for whatever reason. So you just all you're doing is just keeping yourself relevant for SEO, right? Search engine optimization. Um, so questions about Google Business. I know we're going fast. Everybody's going to get this video itself is going to get put into that drive link, and everybody who's on this call is going to get emailed that drive link, okay? And feel free, it's a living thing. So if you have something that you want to add to it, you can too. This drive link is for everybody to provide value to and get value from. Does that make sense? So I'll send that to everybody when it'll be today sometime, maybe tomorrow. But you have a copy, you have the link in the chat below. So ads. So to answer Greg's question, I'm glad he brought it up because this is exactly where I wanted to go next. There used to be 4 ways that you could advertise on Google, okay? One is called PPC or pay per click. That is the AdWords search. So that is when somebody goes to Google and they look up 3-bedroom home with 3-car garage under 500K in Oldham. Well, what sucks is I turn my ads off. But typically, you would see if somebody goes in their Google search right now who has their ads on, you'll see sponsored links, right? The first 4 or 5 links will say sponsored links. So those are the ads that people are paying this PPC for, right? Your big ones, Realtor, Zillow, Homes, they're putting gobs of money per click. So what I mean by pay per click, it's an auction-based system. So how much are you willing to pay Google for somebody to click your link? And that's going to be relevant to how high you go into the system, right? So I used to run $3 a day. So basically $100 a month, give or take, right? I used to run $3 a day in AdWords search. And I started off with a 25-cent pay per click. That was the most I was willing to pay per click. So even if Realtor and Zillow and Homes.com are paying, let's say $100 per click, once somebody clicks that sponsored link, they go down to the bottom of the list, everybody else moves up. Okay. And it just kind of cycles that way. So you're always going to show up high, obviously, early on when you have a lot of money. But you don't, it doesn't necessarily mean just because you're bidding 10 and 25 cents per click doesn't mean you're not going to show up. It means that everybody else who's bid that way and that same kind of dollar figure, once they're clicked, they go to the bottom and you move up. Okay. So it's just all round robin at that point. So, but I will tell you, I from our market, it's so saturated, it's pointless to do PPC. You're just burning money, okay? Because everybody knows an agent, and unless they're a relo or they want to sell some land or they want some goofy oddball RV on, out in the Hills Have Eyes area in the West Arizona or something like that. Well, that's who goes to Google and finds those things. Plus, you need to have a truly optimized AdWord or PPC ad account. You need about 6,000 keywords. Now, again, with the advent of AI technology, that's not too difficult to get. But I'll just show you what it looks like on the dashboard. What it looks like. Mhm. Oh shit, bad. It's very clunky. Real quick, I'm gonna let John in. Sorry, we'll take a little pause here real quick if he hops in. There he is.
What's up?
Hey guys, this is John Evans. This is the guy that's coming to Louisville with us.
What's up, everybody? Hello, hola. I see everybody's mics off. Chris, you got everybody muted?
Y'all you can unmute guys if you want to. So
Man,
John is my
what a
partner.
dictator. What a dictator to just think he can just run everything like this.
Well, Greg, I'm looking at Greg's face. You say dictator. I'm waiting for something. I'm waiting for something there. But anyway, so John, you've heard me talk about him 100 times. This is the Millionaire Mailman. This guy's bringing thunder to Louisville with me. We're coming in Monday the 10th. Our event again is November 13th from 2 to 5 at the Louisville Marriott East. John, you got any couple things you want to say real quick to these Louisville cats?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. I have not been to Louisville, as Chris tells me to pronounce it.
No, I don't.
No, honestly, just excited to bring some value. Again, Chris and myself, we do this locally here quite a bit. We reach out to hundreds, if not thousands, of agents and other people that are looking for, you know, uh, lifelong wealth is what I like to refer it to, and residual income and ways to build other revenue streams that aren't just through your primary source, right? Through maybe sales or your primary job. You should have 10 different things that you guys are putting your time and effort into so that you're constantly, no matter what happens in the world, you're constantly making some sort of residual income, right? And if you can do it while you sleep, that's even better. But some of us don't sleep, like myself, and I'm just constantly trying to triple or quadruple the gains because if I can stay active and do two or three or four things at once, and that's kind of what I'm going to bring. I just want to show everybody that it can be done. Again, I just deliver the mail. I got my route back here behind me, and I field phone calls and do meetings all day long while I'm out here. And there's no reason why anybody else can't do the same. It's some of the best stuff I've ever learned in my life as far as real estate, investing, sales, stock market, buying companies, being in junior joint ventures. All these things are just other ways that we can make money, guys, and that's what we're going to bring when we get out there. So super stoked, Chris.
All right, thanks, John. I appreciate it. Hey guys, go give him a follow too. He's the Millionaire Mailman. I'm sure you can find him somewhere on social media as the Millionaire
Yeah,
Mailman.
next to Hulk Hogan's voice is what I've heard.
Well, appreciate you stopping by, John.
Yeah, I might just I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna just turn
Okay.
off my mic and video, and I'll just listen in while I'm working here.
All right, sounds good. All right, guys, we'll
Cool.
get right back to it. So, oh goodness. Sorry, guys, I'm having technical difficulties here. There we go. So these are ad groups. So each ad group, let's look at Chandler, for example. And these are all the keywords. Okay. And I have in my account, I have roughly 4,000 keywords. But again, in my opinion, don't do this on your own because we're gonna waste money. If you really are passionate about wanting to run pay-per-click ads, hire somebody to do it for you. Trust me, they'll they'll do far better than any of us can. Okay. I don't personally run Google ads this way. I think it's a waste of money. I will tell you, in 4 years out of spending, whatever, $1,100 a year, $1,200 a year, I guess in the grand scheme of things, the return on investment was great because I did get two deals, but it took me like 3 years to get two deals out that way. Okay. So is it worth it? Yeah, I mean, it's $100, but I mean, I could put $100 somewhere else and probably 10 times that every single month, right? Instead of waiting around for 3 years. Anyway, so that's one way to advertise on Google. The other way to advertise on Google, so let's look up, obviously, we know Google Business Profile. There's also, let's like say, for example, pizza near me. So this is called Maps, right? This is the Maps way of advertising on Google. So because we are single service providers, we're weighed differently than multiple service providers. So like a restaurant is considered a multiple service provider. A bank is considered a multiple service provider. I know I'm kind of getting into the weeds on this, but just understand we are single service providers because we are just, all we do is one thing and it's real estate, even though we know we do a million things, but Google sees us as single service providers. That being said, so Maps for single service providers has now kind of intertwined with what is called local services ads, or LSAs, or GLSAs for short. So this is where I think your money is much better served. And we'll kind of get into it a little bit for the last 10-15 minutes. So if you go to ads.google.com/local, I want to copy and put this in the chat because you guys could get this started on your own. Okay. Yes, we have a platform. Connor, who's on the call, he has taken over dramatically most of my. I have an LSA marketing company, just so you know. I'm not here to pitch it today. It's not my intention. But we do have an LSA marketing company. I have around 25, 30 agents across the country who are using my platform. Okay. And I'll get into it a little bit here. So if we go to ads.google.com/local services, so these are all the accounts that I manage. Okay. So I manage other people's accounts too. I don't manage all my clients' accounts, but it's an add-on if they want me to manage their account. So you just go in, you'll probably get to a point where it says new local services add account. Okay. So you just click on this. You got to earn your badge of trust. So it's the Google guarantee button. It's basically like Facebook, Instagram verified, X verified, your Google verified, your Google screen, which means Google's done a background check on you. They've done all this, they make sure you are who you say you are. So you just follow the bouncing ball here. Okay. You just fill in everything here. And again, you have a project inside your chat GPT that can help you build these things out, right? So if you get stuck, ask chat. If you're still stuck, you have my number. Call me. I'm glad to help. That's why I'm here. Of course, I will tell you this, the one thing about Google local services ads, they're dramatically slow all the time. So I'm just going to go back and pick up one of mine, what it looks like. Okay. Notoriously slow for being one of the largest corporations in the world. Okay. So this is where it starts out. So once you've gone and filled out all that information that first window that you saw, you'll get to this point. Okay. So, and then you'll just follow the bouncing ball here too. You have to upload an E&O, which ours has expired. Great. No wonder my ads haven't been optimized. So you have to, so your broker E&O insurance is it's not your personal insurance. Understand, it's your broker's E&O insurance that you have to upload here. Okay. Billing information, obviously that's your credit card information. I'm not going to show you my credit card information. Business profile. So you have to have a business profile to run Google local services ads. They're one and the same. So the higher option, I'm going to show you what these are after I'm done explaining to you how to get started. Okay. So when you start your Google local service, when you start your LSAs, let's get used to the acronyms because I can't stand saying things all the way up. When you're starting your LSAs, Google will go out and try to find your business profile so it can link your LSA account to your business profile. Everybody understand so far? So that could take a day or two, it could take a minute or two. It's just depending on how easy you are to find for Google, which should be fairly easy. Custom reviews, it links them to the reviews that are on your Google business profile, but you can ask specifically for reviews just on your local services ads. Okay. I think it's a waste of time because you already have a Google business profile that is pulling that information from anyway. Got it? Budget, obviously, your budget's your budget, right? Let me tell you this. So the way PPC and AdWords work versus how LSAs work, okay? So let's use that $100 a month that we talked about with AdWords. I can put in $100 a month on my budget. I may never spend ever get to $100 that I've spent because the way they bill you on local services ads is when let's just go to it. I'm going to look up Bartstown. These are local services ads. These headshots right here. These are sponsored real estate agents. These are Google verified agents that are running local services ads in Nelson County. Okay. So when you click this number on mobile, for example, it's going to create this number. This is not a real number. This is a Google automated generated number because when somebody calls that number, it's recorded by Google. Okay. This number is routed to whatever number you tell Google to route it to. So typically your cell phone, right? So it routes to your cell phone, pick up the call. It says this call may be recorded, blah, blah, blah. You get billed once information is shared in that phone call. Okay. This is very important to understand. You get billed whenever information is shared in that phone call. If you don't answer your phone, Google gets pissed off because they're like, well, there was $30 we could have made. So they bury you in the rankings. Okay. So the people who are ranking high are people that have a high answer rate and also a high budget. Okay. So what we've done, and I learned the hard way, and I don't want to get into the whole pitch, but I have all my calls go to my chat bot. Okay. It just basically, it's a recording, says, thank you for calling the D team. We'll have an agent reach out to you right away. The cool thing about local services ads is whether I answer the phone or talk to the client immediately or not, we get that phone number sent to us by Google. Say, hey, you have a new lead. It's 502-555-1212. And then that number goes into my chat bot. And my chat bot says, hey, thanks for calling. May I have your name so I know who I'm talking to? And you'll be like, it's Mary. Hi, Mary. Are you looking to buy, sell, or something else? And then it just follows a workflow from there. And then I get a ping on my phone from my system and Google that I have a new lead in both in my CRM and from the Google dashboard. Okay. So the Google dashboard will look something like this. And because no information was exchanged over that call that Google could hear, I don't pay anything to Google. You understand where I'm going with this? It's like we game the system, so to speak, right? So like I've been billed on calls that I've never spoke with. Google has AI integrations where it goes in and listens to these calls after the fact. So if they build you for something they shouldn't have billed you for, they'll refund your money. I have been operating with a credit for as long as I can remember. Do you see what I'm saying here? So all these leads that I have, they actually owe me money. Now, again, I'm not going to get into the weeds of local services ads. Okay. If you want to schedule some time one-on-one with local services ads, I'll put my link in the chat again. It's the dteamhour.com. But again, this is very important for you to have because if we go back to the Barstown real estate agents, you want to be here. If somebody's looking up,
I'm over here literally saying I want to be there.
there's Jay. And I'm sure Jay has some automations there too, right? So yes, you want to be here. So the way to do it consistently is you have to, you either got to have it, you're either going to be paying Google a ton of money, but the thing is you cannot show up here unless you have a high answer rate. Because once you drop one call, they'll drop you 8 spots. Once you drop another call, now you're down 16 spots. It multiplies, right? So if it goes to show more, these are all, we call this the front page. These are all the people that are running local services ads in Heights Point, probably just doing Jefferson County. And this is what we call the second page.
Now, Chris, when you put your service area, is it when you put more service areas? I guess it can cost you more money. I guess at that point, or if you just say if you want to farm Oldham County, or if say even though we do business in Shelby, Henry, should you add that into your service area?
You should add
Or
as
you should
many
add as
service
many
areas
service
as
areas
possible.
as possible.
As you can,
As you can.
it doesn't charge
It
you
doesn't charge
money
you money
to run
to
ads
run
all over
ads.
the place because
It doesn't. Okay.
you're just paying for the
You're just
inbound
paying for the
calls,
inbound
right? You're just paying for the
Just
inbound
paying for the
calls.
inbound.
Oh, so my service areas, everything in blue is what I advertise in. That's pretty much 70% of the state. I have agents in this county. I have agents in this county. I have agents in every county that you see here. So what I used it for, guys, I mean, I'm giving you guys a $2,000 freebie right here, okay? Because this is what it costs to get in. I'm just telling you it straight up. This is what we charge. Connor, tell the truth. See Connor still on here?
I'm here.
What do we charge? What do we charge for this? Just to set it up. 2,000, right? So I'm giving you guys
Yep.
a $2,000 freebie here, okay? Just because these are my people. I use this. So I ran in my own territory for a while and I was like, I'm not getting anything. So I expanded my territory. And then I use it as an option, an opportunity for me to get referral business. So I was out there getting 15, 20 transactions a year, giving them away and getting 25, 35% on these deals. Okay. I had agents up here near Vegas, Bullhead City, Lake Havasu area. I have agents out here, what we call the White Mountains. That's like the super high level or super high elevation part of Arizona. And I was able to secure one of the best agents in Mojave County on my team and the top two of the top two agents in the White Mountains on my team because of this Google Local Services Ads platform. So the point I'm making is like you can advertise as long as you're licensed in Kentucky, you can advertise anywhere in Kentucky you want to advertise. You can advertise in Paducah for all Google cares. You can advertise down in Trimble County for all Google cares, right? And then you just find agents. If you get a lead down there, you find an agent down there to refer to. Now, I would find agents before I would advertise down in any place I'm not working, and make sure you vet them because I will tell you, we all know 87% of agents don't know what the hell they're doing, right? So, and that's a real statistic. But going back, and you know what? I'm just going to give this to you for now, but we can help you manage this. But like, this is my budget. My bid per call is $1,000 a bid. I'm willing to pay $1,000 per phone call. That's what I'm telling Google. Because everybody else who's putting $30 to $50 per phone call, I have a higher bid than they do, so I'm going to show up higher in searches. Does that make sense to everybody? Am I paying $1,000 per phone call? You just saw that I got a credit for $47. I'm not paying $1,000 per phone call. I'm just paying $1 more than the next highest bid, which is typically between $30 and $50. Okay. My average weekly budget is 50 grand. So basically, I'm telling Google, give me everything you can. I want it all. I have never paid more than $1,000. Well, let me take that back. Since I built out my platform, I have never spent more than $1,000 a year. Okay. The first 2 months I did it, I spent 6 grand. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? And that's why I figured out how to automate it. So again, I just want you guys to understand you can start yours on your own. If you want us to do it, we're happy to do it. Wouldn't charge you 2 grand for it, but I mean, this is a company that we run.
Hey, Chris,
Yes.
I have a question. So is are, do you have to be automated and using the bot that asks those general questions to basically get um to not give the information that Google Pay charges for? Is that what or can you just be one of the people that answers the phone and
Well, before I used AI technology, like all in AI technology, I was using IVR technology with a little sprinkle of AI. IVR stands for integrated voice response. And we've all been a victim of integrated voice response. Press 1 to speak English, press 2 to speak Spanish. That's integrated voice response. Okay. So my clients, when they typically call, when a client calls one of my LSA clients, it's like, thank you. It's a recording. Thank you for calling Monica Perkins. I'm sorry, I'm not, or press 1 if you're a seller, press 2 if you're a buyer, press 3 for all other. Okay. And then if they're a seller, the next question will be something like, is the property you're selling a residential home? Press 1. If it's land, press 2. Anything else, press 3. So if it's a residential home, that call gets routed to your cell phone. Google doesn't hear it at that point because it's already been transferred off the original number that Google's listening to. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
if it's a buyer, it might say something like, is the property you're wishing to buy worth 250,000 or more? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. And they'll press 1 for yes and moves them down the line. Okay. Anytime they say no to something, or if it's something other, it'll say, thank you for the call. We'll have an agent reach out to you right away. And in 20 seconds, you'll get a text message from Google and an email from Google saying that you have a new lead and it's a phone number. Okay. And that's where you do what we're supposed to do in sales is like, okay, this is a lead. It's a hot lead. They called me. I want to call them back. More often than not, it's like, I got a piece of property down in Hardin County, or something like that. LaRue County, I got to get rid of, or somebody inherited some freaking dusty old trailer or something like that. You'll get a lot of those calls. But the thing is, you're not paying for them. But going back to the buyer side, it might say something like, okay, so that we know that the house is worth $250,000 or more. So the next question would be, what do you think the next question would be there? Are you pre-approved or paying in cash? And if they say yes, guess what? That call gets connected to my cell phone or whoever, my client's cell phone, and they have a conversation with a real buyer at a price point they like who is pre-qualified and ready to go. If they say no, few options you can do there. If they say no, it gives them the message, thank you for calling. We'll reach out to you right away. Or it may route them to a loan officer. But you have to be very, very critical with your loan officer. Like if you get a call from this number, no matter what you do, I don't care if you're in the bathroom, I don't care if you're in the shower, I don't care if you're at your kid's ball game, you have to take this call because this is real money calling you right now. But again, that's a whole other level of training because you got to get a loan officer you can trust before you start handing your business that you're paying for off to somebody and hoping that they do their job right, right? But anyway, going back to here real quick, I want to make sure I get through this part of it. Your business profile obviously connects to your Google business profile. Your customer views is connected there. Your budget, we talked about the budget. Your headshot. So your headshot has to be shoulders and head only. It can't be you holding a dog. It can't be leaning against your Camaro. You know what I'm saying, Gabe? uh, it has to be head and shoulders. And they are very, very strict about headshots. About say 8 out of 10 people that when we're doing when we put out their Google business profile, it's always their headshot that gets flagged. Always. 80% of the time. It works every time. So, and then real estate agents, this is regardless if it's your account or not, you still have to add yourself again as a real estate agent on your team. Okay. Then it does a background check for you. So it goes to a company called Evident. Evident is just a background check. I don't know how fast Kentucky is, but typically it can be anywhere between 2 days and about 2 weeks for a background check to clear. Okay.
Unless you're in Michigan, then it takes forever.
And then then you upload your business license. Okay. Yeah. I mean, not to get political, but you can figure out the states that are dragging their tail on these things versus the states that aren't. Um, all right, the Google guaranteed is going away. That means nothing to me. So, and then just go back to my business profile real quick. Oops, sorry, here. This number is not my number. That is my work number. That's my bot number. So if you ever get a text from this number, well, you won't get a text from this number. This is specifically designed for just for local services ads. So I don't ever, all I do is I'll get an email or a text that I got a phone call and that's it. And then I just let my chatbot do the rest. And if it's something that's worth pursuing after I read the text to go through, then we'll pursue it. If not, I'm not paying for it. I don't care. But I would not suggest doing that when you first start local services ads. I would suggest an IVR. And you can find, if we don't build it out for you, again, I'm not trying to pitch you guys, I promise. But if you're not asking us to build out your IVR, they're easy to find, but find something that works well. And make sure you have something that is able to connect with your CRM if you're running a CRM. If you're not running a CRM, it doesn't matter. But not Google does not play nice on its own with pretty much every CRM out there. You have to find some kind of connector for it. Like there's Zapier's, there's all kinds of different connectors between Google and CRMs. All right, so we went through a lot, guys. Any questions before I stop sharing my screen? All right, let's chop it up. Um, so you guys have a link to the Drive link, right? That's going to have all your prompting and stuff for your business profiles. You're going to have a link to this video. You're going to create a project. So you're tasked to create a project inside your chat GPT that's specific for Google. Go to the Drive link, grab those prompts that can help you out. You guys have been, I'm sure you're smart enough now to know, if you don't know what to ask chat what to ask chat, right? We've talked about this before. So that's all I got. I hope that was helpful. I know it's kind of drinking from a fire hose. We only have an hour to get through this, right? And I know you guys have to go. You guys have a big day ahead of you in terms of going to the track and probably selling houses and everything else. But this, I'll give you 3 or 4 minutes to ask questions if you got them.
No, awesome job. Good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How important, and I'm not sure if it's just the one that you prefer to work with or if it's just got a lot more information, but I see everybody's like, well, don't use ChatGPT, don't use this AI, don't use this one, use this one. How important is it that we utilize ChatGPT specifically
Thank you,
for
Mary.
all of this?
How important is it to use just specifically chat?
Yeah, like do you use any other AIs or is it
I'll mess around with Gemini.
Okay.
Um,
I'm a big Grok. I love Grok.
He likes Grok. I'll use Perplexity or ChatGPT. It just depends.
I mean, OpenAI's daddy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's daddy. And I was a beta tester on OpenAI, so I'm always going to probably 80% of what I do is going to go through OpenAI. Do I like all those other ones? Sure. Grok, I mean, and I don't hate Grok either, but I think Grok is much more real time because it pulls from X, right?
Right.
The only thing I don't like about Grok is the fact that it is definitely it's a money pool to keep people on X and to share data with X back and forth, and actually, so everybody's in Grok, it shares data to X. It's no different than like, Facebook's AI, right? So I think Grok is more up to date with news and current events and stuff like that, more so than OpenAI. But I think OpenAI is much more trainable. I think Gemini creates better spreadsheets, more data driven stuff. That's what I feel like that Gemini does well. But I think it's so marginal for me. I just prefer. I mean, my whole business is pretty. I'd say 85% of my business is in OpenAI. Because I've learned how to train it. I've learned how to do the things, another thing in the project. So, I mean, if anybody's got to go, you can go. This is going to be some kind of just side stuff. Kind of give you an example here. So like all my projects, right? So let's look for the D team, for example. So like I like projects because I can drop project files in here. So when you guys are answering your questions, where's my Drive account? Damn it. How do I find my folders, Jackie?
What are you doing?
I need to find my folder. My Drive.
Go to my drive
There we go.
and then, yeah.
So when you do your where's my questions? The first thing you need to do, okay. So when you answer all these questions and it kicks out your suggestions, what you might ask chat to do is say, okay, let's put this into the knowledge base. So then you go in, you save another file. and you upload it into your knowledge base. So my knowledge base has my leadership project identity file. So it just identifies some points for my team, right? And it has instructions. I mean, I haven't updated this in a while, so let's see what it says. Oh, hell. Maybe not. So yes, you're Lex, you're my strategic partner, truth teller and builder. Be direct, skeptical, and brutally honest. Communicate my voice. It's knowledge base, things that we do. Obviously, there's some things that probably need to update. But again, that's one reason why I really like OpenAI is because I can train it much better than I can anything else. I mean, you can go, I mean, even fantasy football. So like for fun, I let chat draft my entire team. And it kept, I tell you, and this is the real honest to God truth. Like, and I did deep research and stuff like this. So like, obviously I had this deep research mode, right? Don't use it all the time. Make sure, you ask chat what to ask for in deep research. But it kept like after about the sixth round is like, okay, next up is Michael Pittman. I was like, Michael Pittman? Why? I was just like, no, I'm not drafting Michael Pittman. It's like this. I'll go to like the 15th round before I pick up this kid. And from like every round on was like, that's the one you got to go. I was like, give me another one. I'm not picking that guy. Ended up drafting that guy. He's having a career year. It's crazy to me, right? And now, I mean, correlation is not, a causation, right? But still. So yes, I like projects because I can train each project specifically for what I want out of it. And I don't think I don't think that Gemini. I don't think that Grok. Go ahead, Greg. You're muted.
Never mind. Never mind. Forget it. Sorry.
Social media planning. Oh, there it is. So yeah, like you can do like obviously your calendar. You say, okay, give me a monthly calendar rotation of posts I should make on social media based on what you know about me. But again, gave some really good advice that I have for you here is like before you start doing anything, do a questionnaire about what your goals are. So be like, hey, chat, I want to build out a social media monthly calendar rotate or content rotation. Ask me 5 to 10 questions about me, my business, my goals, whatever else, so we can accurately get exactly what I want out of this project. And then take your time through it, right? I mean, my God, I always make a joke, but I'll say, we're all friends here. While everybody else is freaking watching TikTok and Reels while they're taking a shit, I'm over here doing questionnaires in my chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make time for stuff like this. And we waste so much time on doing all this other goofy shit, like, and especially you young men, you love social media, which is great. You absolutely need to be on it. Social media, I mean, it pays me $250,000 a year for my business, right? So like it is the place you have to be. But my point is like when we're doing things that are not making us money, we can easily replace that with 5 little 10-minute money maker activities, right? Building projects, building ideas, can make your, did I send you guys if I haven't, I will, but there's um there's a prompt that I gave everybody early on. I think it was in an email that basically just said, ask me 20 questions about my business and my personal life. And it was like a 60-minute style interview. It was a big interview, right? And and you put that into your knowledge base. I've recently changed my knowledge base, but just so you know, if you go to settings, and I forget where it is, personalization. I believe it's your custom instructions. You can put custom instructions to your global chat GPT. I'm a little scared to do that right now because I feel like I've got it trained so well. But like just little things like, okay, no M dashes, right? That's the one telltale sign that chat loves to do with the big dash, right? Like I always have to tell no M dashes. I don't want people to, because look, it's chat GPT. This is where you can write custom instructions too. And that's about it. What else you got for me? I booked out 90 minutes. So if you got more questions, I've got 10 more minutes. Oh,
Are you going to send us this video? I got in late,
yes. So let me give you this link again.
or this recording, I mean.
Yes.
Is this some of the stuff you're going to be talking about when you come to Louisville?
Probably more stuff.
Um, yeah, we're not leaving for Vegas until probably Friday or Saturday, so I will definitely be here.
Alex, did he leave? Alex, tell
Hey,
me,
Chris.
yeah. Let's give me a call after this and tell me what's going on, okay?
What was that?
Give me a call after this and tell me what's going on. I want to respect everybody's time here about the verification. That's my number.
Okay.
So, but to your question, Monica, I haven't committed to what I'm talking about yet. I mean, you guys tell me, what do you want? What do you want to learn about? I mean, it's like my idea was I wanted to give you guys obviously the theme of our event is from automation to accumulation. Okay. Um, and I want to give you guys some takeaways the just think about those customizable instructions, right? Maybe that'll be something we'll talk about. But I want to give you guys three things in a bonus to walk away with. So like one's obviously how to automate your systems, automate your social media content. Look at that. Um, automate your social media content, automate your Google stuff. We can do all that. We might do. I could talk about what I want. One thing I want to leave you guys with is like a kind of a health and wellness project too. The big thing is like I have 7 streams of income right now, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and how we're using AI to automate a lot of those streams.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, like, so just to the point, Monica, is like I have a workflow for Legal Shield. And Legal Shield it represents like 30, 40 grand of my business, $2,500 a month on the average. So I mean, it's a small scale about, based on or compared to production and everything else that we do, but I have a workflow for it. So I don't have, so basically just it automates itself. People want to get in, we have a meeting once every other week. Um, and basically it's like a webinar kind of thing that we advertise there. Gabe, I think webinars, I was telling your dad this. That's something that you might want to look into very seriously. You got the cadence for it, you got the look for it, and you're definitely smart enough to do it. But again, it's just reading from a script, right? It does cost money because so the way you do it, you advertise the webinar on social media, and then those leads get put into your CRM. So you get those leads whether they show up to your webinar or not, right? And then if they show up, they're super serious. And then after the fact, even those who don't show up, you're still in they're still in your database. They get a copy of the webinar and they get fed pieces of it over the course of several months. Um, but it's a great way that we're seeing, and this comes from people who are way smarter than I am. It took me what 4 months, Jackie, to finally get on board with the idea. Not longer.
Yes. And I did all the work and then waited and waited and waited. Greg, I'm gonna bring you a
I was
sticker.
so anxious
I'm
last.
gonna bring you a sticker. Yeah. So every time I take a drink, it says I pooped today.
I love that. That's awesome. That's so funny.
Yeah. We were at a party and someone was like, "Oh, let me see all your stickers." And I'm like, "These are not appropriate."
Best. That's awesome.
What kind of webinars specifically? I mean, there's just feel like that's so broad in terms of what you can do.
So the one that we did, so when we were talking to, I'm not gonna say like our coach, but he's kind of like our coach.
Sure.
Um, it's easier to get buyers than it is sellers from Facebook ads. You get more quality based on the ad spend, and it's geared towards typically first-time home buyers, but the top, like the punchline is 5 mistakes that you don't want to make when you're buying a home.
How about
And
that?
then the entire slideshow that you're basically sharing as you're going through this webinar is specific to the type of buyers that you have. So, like, we have 5 mistakes, but there's actually, I think, a sixth one, which is going into new home constructions. So in
We're hiring our own
Arizona,
agent.
new home constructions are a big part of buyers. Like, most buyers are buying new homes just because they can get the builder incentives. The rates are typically lower because the builders are buying it in blocks. And so we have mistakes that they need to be aware of before they go there without representation. Because the builders here are very,
Predatorial.
they're just
Predatory.
assholes. Like if my buyer goes to, let's say, ABC Builder, and ABC Builder has 12 different communities in Arizona, doesn't matter what city, and they didn't go into the very first one without an agent, they can't buy a house in any of those and have representation.
Hmm. Very interesting.
So it's just making sure that they're aware of that. Like the person who's there at the desk who's super sweet and has a smile on their face and offers you a water bottle doesn't give two shits about you.
Right.
They work for the builder.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So, but yeah, but like it talks about like first time home buyers, like different grants that are available based on like income in a specific pocket. And it could even be like a part of a zip code. Or like it could be that this neighborhood you can get free grant money just because there's a higher population of minority. And minority doesn't just mean race, like it could be anything.
Right.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's like 60 slides that, I had to do. And then Chris sat on it for 4 months. I love him. It's a good thing he takes me to Disney.
Well, it was cool. We had 13 people sign up.
Mhm.
That is awesome.
And we have all their information. And the cool thing is our CRM verifies stuff. So like it'll verify that like this is an actual phone number and it verifies that this is an actual email. And so it doesn't like it'll tell you if it's not.
When
And
you
then
say
all the
well,
workflows are in there.
CRM, that's the company Chris keeps saying he's not trying to sell to us, right?
No.
No, that's not the one. That one's the local ad services, right?
The one that I own is King
Right.
Ad.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
go ahead. Have you showed them Go High Level? Can I share my screen?
um,
Give me access. Let me share.
no, this was somebody else. This is Saeed. But honestly, dude, if you can pony up $2,500, it's well worth it.
So this is our Go High Level. Hang on. So these are all the contacts. So let me go to filter, tag. Apply. Why is it not?
What'd you do?
Hang on. There we go. So these are all the real-time people. So there's actually 19 of them, but a couple of them were us.
All right, go up. Click on.
So then like if you go, hang on. So then like if I
click on
go
the.
to, hang on. If I go to this specific client, I can see everything that went out to them.
Go
So
back
the
to the one
webinar
below
room is
that
now
one.
open. What?
Go back to the one below that one. Scroll up. I think this is the one. No. There was one chick that just sat and talked to my bot for like an entire night. And then my bot went to bed. I was like, okay, well, I guess you're going to sleep. Talk to you later. I want to see what.
Yeah. So all of
I had
these.
fun with it. I had.
Yeah, you did.
I had fun.
So like if I go to the automations and the webinar. So like when somebody registers, this is the workflow. So it's going to go ahead and register them. It's going to do everything for me. And then it's going to send them a text.
So we didn't discuss this website at all today, correct?
No, this is our CRM.
Oh, okay. I see.
So like the thing that I put in the chat about the Google LSA, this is it. And it's all created in here. So it creates these websites for us.
Wow.
And then like when you click on here, it goes wherever you want to. And then like it says, hey, do you want to text us? It'll open up a text message and it already has Chris on there.
Sure. Okay.
So it's very cool.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of different websites and accounts and profiles to set up. And then I think I'll have more questions rolling once I start getting a little more hands-on with some of that.
So if you're interested, both. If you want a robust CRM like that, I think it's like 25. Is it a year or for the first time?
Are you talking to me?
Hmm?
I don't know. You pay the bills.
Like,
All right. I got to jump off. I got to go on.
I pay for the agency, which means I own mine. And plus, I have a team, right? So, and I can get like unlimited seats. We did it for agent attraction too. Mine was like, but for if you for a single for up to 25 seats, $2,500.
I mean, if it's still, I mean,
It's not mine to sell. Just letting you know what people are paying.
Yeah, no, I mean I honestly don't think that's bad at all. Now, if you would have said $10,000, I would have been, oh, but even if it's 2,500, it's not that bad.
Well, another thing about it, I don't know if I can access it.
Mute your mic, Dad. Or turn your volume. I don't know.
It's not bad. Where is it? Hun, where's the boss agents? Oh, never mind. It's not there. Right here. Maybe. There it is. So this is cool. Oh, where is it? Learning. Yeah, here you go. So it comes with these classes too, which obviously I haven't done. But there's like 90 hours or something, 96 hours worth of classes. What I use this thing a lot for is this called the Vault. I mean, it's just like it's got thousands of hooks, video content, lead magnet templates, social media graphics, high converting conversion scripts, chat GPT prompt pack. So like I just copy and paste this to everybody. I mean, look at all these prompts. I mean, 100, right? LinkedIn, content ideas. So I like that a lot too. This is what our team, we make all of our team, every agent on our team has to do this class or this series. And they have 90 days to do it. If they don't do it, they get no leads. They get nothing. You get nothing. So a lot of fun stuff. I ain't going to talk a lot about boss agents there or sales machine because I think it's important that we automate things. There's one conversation. I want to show you one specifically. Is it Sheila?
So I know this is your all CRM. Is this when I set up the Google business and get everything undergoing, is this all like a sublink to that, or is this just a completely different?
When somebody goes to Google, let me just find something real quick. This number right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That actually is try to get so much better at this than I am. And what is going on? That number is actually a seat in my CRM.
But your CRM itself, is this all tied? This website you're using, I don't know why I can't figure this out in my brain.
Okay.
But this website that you're on right now, is this tied with the Google business?
Yes, they can integrate. Absolutely. Now, do I have mine particularly integrated with it right now? Not in the sense that you're probably thinking about. Okay.
Cool.
I think I know what you're asking. So the way I've integrated, so there's one way you can do it. Let's just go back. Where is it? You can publish all your content from here. So like Lauren, she did that. Where is it? The short answer to your question is this can absolutely be integrated with your Google business profile and your Google local services ads. Okay. You can do everything from here if you want to. It's got, these are all my business accounts that I run through Facebook. That's attached to it. I can set up automations from there, which I probably should. Um, it's got my Meta account, my Google account here. I don't want to create a Google ad account. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Interesting. Not automations. Where is it? There's a way to set it up. Well, yes, you can integrate it. I don't want to waste your time here. But what I do is that this number is actually a seat in my platform. So it's treated as a human, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the GLSA number. So when anybody calls this number, they automatically go into a workflow, my LSA
Right.
workflow.
Right. Yeah. And that's a completely separate.
That's just an easy way to get them in my database.
Right. Sure.
Now, so like these right here, unless I have my account set up with them or connected together, which I don't, even then I don't think these leads go into that account.